Are you thinking of getting a business degree? Or are you an incoming business student and want to know what you're getting yourself into? Or are you simply curious what a business student does? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then keep watching. Hey, it's Mirelle and welcome back to my channel. I just found this mic and I thought it was pretty cool, so
I don't know if I'm going to use it throughout this video.
Anyways, I just want to keep this intro short because if you saw the earlier clips, you already know what to expect in this video. So I'm going to be sharing some tips with you guys so that if you are an incoming business student or are thinking of becoming a business student, you are not left clueless like me entering into the program. So yeah, let's just get down to business. See what I did there? Anyways, yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so I have my notebook right here with everything I'm gonna say so that I won't lose track. Okay, I'm gonna lose the microphone. So first of all, what's the business program all about? What do you expect in this program in general? So it honestly really depends on the business program you're getting into because they're very different. Obviously, you'll learn how to work in management positions, a lot of leadership, networking, and really knowing the ins and outs of how a business runs. Now, some business programs are very general, meaning that throughout all your years of study in the program, you learn all of the different aspects of business, whether it's like economics, finance, marketing, so you learn all of that. But unlike my business program, it starts off general in the first year, so all of your courses are introductory, and then by your second year, you get to pick which business major you want. And from there, in your later years, you will go more in depth into that major and learn all the specific skills needed for that business area. I also want to make a disclaimer that I'm only going into my second year, so the point of view that you're getting in this video is from someone who just finished their first year. Having said that, a bit of background for me is I currently go to Ryerson University, which is in Canada in downtown Toronto, and I'm currently in their business management program, and I am going to be majoring in marketing. So the next thing I want to talk about is why did I pick business? So in my early high school years, I had no idea what I wanted to do career-wise. I thought maybe I'll go into sciences, maybe business, I don't know. All those options were very open. In grade 11, I actually took some science courses. I took bio and chemistry. I found out that year that I am very bad at science, especially chemistry. So sciences was not my way to go. I realized that business is basically a combination of creativity and math, and those are like two of my stronger areas, so I thought that was perfect for me. Also, my parents have encouraged me a lot to go into business, and eventually my interest in business grew, so that's what I decided to study. Continuing on, so the next thing I want to talk about is admission requirements. So this is more on for the people who are still thinking of going into the business program. Obviously, if you're an incoming business student already, you probably know all of these and went through all of this. Again, it really depends on what school and what program you're going into. Obviously, they will be looking at your grades, and you may also need some required grade 12 courses. For me at least, it was English and just any grade 12 math. It doesn't necessarily have to be calculus. Although they recommended that, it didn't have to be calculus. I just took it anyways because they did recommend it, and I did find a lot of the concepts in my math courses in my first year to be easier because I did know some calculus. Some of the business programs I applied to had a video interview. It was all online, so you could do it anytime you want. You just have to submit it by a due date. Basically, what happens is you go into their website, the application process, and then when you want to start your interview, you go ahead. A question will pop up onto the screen. They'll give you about a minute to come up with your response, and then once the time's up, they will start recording you, and that's when you get to share your answer. There's also a limited time for you to share your answer. I think it's also about a minute. So just so you guys have an idea, my question was, how do you solve a conflict? I know my friend, his question was, if you were a fruit, what would you be? So those are the types of questions that they usually ask in these video interviews. Another school I applied to, they only required a supplementary application. So there in the application, I filled out, what are my achievements, what I did in high school, my extracurriculars and stuff like that. They basically just want to get to know you. So the next thing I want to talk about is the courses that you take. What I'm going to be going in detail over is specifically in your first year. So like I mentioned earlier, the first year is very general and you get to cover all of the aspects of business. They're all introductory courses. So for me, I took professional communications, global management, critical thinking, which was basically a whole course on learning how to form an argument and how to analyze an argument. I also took information systems, so IT stuff, marketing, accounting, statistics, micro and macroeconomics. I'm just gonna correct myself there. I actually only took microeconomics. I'm taking macro this year in second year. The reason for that is because I switched programs. I will explain that later on in this video, and basically I'm a semester behind in my courses, so yeah. Math, which was super easy because it was based on grade 11 and 12 math, and then my elective was Spanish. So honestly, my least favorite course was probably economics. It was so boring. Like, I would go into the lecture and fall asleep within the first 10 minutes. And of course, like, me and my friends, we sat at the very back, so it was very easy for us to just fall asleep too. How Ryerson is very weird because some of our courses are in a movie theater. Cineplex gave us those rooms so that we could have lectures in it, so it's very interesting. Anyways, my favorite course would probably have to be either marketing or statistics. Even though statistics was very challenging, I did better than I thought in that course, and that made me really happy. So now I want to talk about course structure, and what I mean by that is how your assignments and your exams are weighted to formulate your average for the course. So of course, how university courses are structured are very different from high school courses, and it also depends on the course you're taking because those are also very different. For me, I had some courses that only had 2 exams, the midterm and the final. That's what I hate the most, because if you do really bad in one of those, then your average for that course is just gonna be really bad. Usually the midterm would be worth 40% and the final exam is worth 60%. When I first heard about that, it was so scary because I knew I had to do so well because it was either a fail or a pass. That's how I looked at it. Now, some courses, they may not have a final exam. They'll probably just have a culminating project. A lot of them was creating your own business. Some courses, they have weekly quizzes. Some would have 2 or 3 smaller tests before the exam. For my IT course, since we were in a computer lab, we had to hand in some Excel assignment. I need water, hold up. Okay, and most of your courses, they will probably require you to do some readings before your lecture. And then some courses, they have a separate online module. So like marketing, we had metrics online, so all of those lessons in terms of metrics, which is basically the math portion of marketing, it was all done online, and all the other theory stuff of marketing was done in class. Now, I just want to give you a tip that time management is really key in university. I know you've probably heard this a lot. You'll probably notice in your first month that you'll barely get any assignments. Or if you do get assignments, they will be due near midterm season or exam season. So you will have a long time to do that project. What people usually do is they will wait until the due date, which is basically what I did a lot. Do not recommend, because then all your assignments will be stacked up. You will be so stressed and so busy, and plus you have midterms and exams to study for. You will not do well, okay? And you will not be sleeping either. I don't know why all the professors do this. I don't know why they decide, oh, let's make all our assignments due on this week. But that's what happens. So I want to give you guys a heads up. The next one I'll be talking about is teaching styles. The first one is very straightforward, and that is the lecture. You'll probably be in a large auditorium with hundreds of other students in your program, or probably other programs too. So like me, for critical thinking, thinking that was probably my biggest class, and I had people from a lot of different programs, from law, business, arts, English. To be honest, like walking into a lecture could be very like daunting at first, but you get used to it, you know, because I remember on my first day, like walking into that huge lecture, I had no idea where to sit. There's just so many people. So yeah, it was very different. The next teaching style is like a lab or a tutorial. I don't really know the difference between the two because they're pretty similar. I guess a lab just means you're in a computer lab. Anyways, this type of teaching style is very similar to high school, where you are in a smaller classroom setting. You'll probably be in a classroom of 20 to 40 students. And usually how a tutorial works is that you will have the lecture class, and then on another day from your big lecture class, you'll be split off into tutorial classes. So the tutorial is where you could basically just, it's easier for you to ask questions, go over some stuff you didn't understand from the lecture, and it's usually led by a TA. Another teaching style is the online modules, which I mentioned earlier in the last point, so I'm not gonna really get into that. And then the next one is office hours, which is basically your chance to get one-on-one with your professor. This is a great opportunity to learn from your professor, get to know them, and network with them. It's important that you do get to know your professor. They could help you get a job one day. I honestly rarely went to office hours, but now I am for sure gonna utilize that because I feel like I didn't really know what to ask yet and stuff, so I barely went to office hours. But if you do have some quick questions, like go ahead and email your professor. That is the most efficient way to do it, and that's what I would usually do because I feel like my questions weren't worth a whole sit-down session. Next, I want to quickly talk about textbooks. So textbooks are very expensive, and I'm sure you all know that. And in first year, like, I actually only bought 2 of my textbooks. I only bought one brand new one and one used one. So definitely, if you want the hard copy textbook, get a used one because they're very cheap. Usually they would sell their old textbooks through the Facebook marketplace, or probably on campus on your university they will sell used books in the campus store, because really buying brand new textbooks is just not worth it. You're probably not even gonna use it in your later years, but if really that's your last option, do it. The other things I did is really just ask around, like ask for PDFs. People just usually give it out for free, and also that's why I don't carry around a heavy bag, because everything, all my textbooks were just on my laptop, which was very convenient. Next is, how hard is the business program? So again, it really depends on you, because I feel like every program has its own challenges, and it also depends on how much work you put in and how much effort you put in. So for example, the accounting course I heard was very easy, and I took it in my first year. I found it really difficult because I was not interested in accounting, and I did really bad. It's actually my lowest mark because I didn't put in the work. But for statistics, a lot of people found it very challenging. I did too, but I got a really good mark. I got an A in that course. So that really shows you that the amount of effort you put in will really benefit you in your course. So make sure to study. Hey guys, I took a quick pause because the sun was just too much for me, and I closed my window, and I also took a water break. So I am back again. So where am I? Yes. So how hard is it really? I think I said it all for this portion. Let's move on. The next thing is events and extracurriculars. So I think the most popular types of events for business students are networking events and case competitions. That's what I've noticed. And I have been to both types of events in my first year. Both of them are very interesting and they're pretty fun. The first thing are networking events. I think it's pretty straightforward. You get to network with other people in the event. Usually there would be like a panel of industry professionals, and they will just tell you about their career. You get to ask them questions, and then after that there's the networking session, and that's less formal. They'll be walking around and you get to talk to them personally. I didn't really do that because obviously as a first year, it's normal not to know what to ask them. So I just recommend to just listen in to the other people who do have questions so that later on, probably in your second, third, fourth year, you will get better at networking sessions. I really need to listen to my own advice because yeah, I will be doing this starting this year. Now about case competitions. So these are honestly such a big learning opportunity for you because from case competitions, you get to learn how to solve real world business problems, and you get to apply your knowledge of what you've learned so far from your business courses. Also, you get to practice how to think quickly, and also it's a good way to practice your presentation skills. So I actually joined one case competition during my first year, and that is DECA. It's a very big organization. You probably know it if you're in the US or Canada. I don't know what other countries has DECA. And basically in this case competition, you get to pick which category you want to compete in. I competed in the sports and entertainment marketing, and I was with a partner. So you get to pick if you want to do it alone or with a partner. It was a lot of fun because we got to stay 2 nights at a hotel. There was also networking sessions and we got a lot of free stuff, and we had the case competition on one of the days. The case competition itself was really quick, to be honest. They will give you the case, you gotta read it, think of what you're gonna say. You have half an hour to do that, and then you just make a 10-minute presentation, and that's it. That's how a case competition goes. Another thing I recommend is to join student groups and clubs. They're a great way to make friends and to also put stuff down on your resume because they are a great way to gain experience. I definitely recommend joining the exec team on the student group. How the exec team runs is very business-like. There's a VP of marketing, VP of events, and then under that there's the managers and directors and associates. So I definitely recommend trying to get into those roles. Going into my second year, I am in one student group right now, and I am their social media director. And for some programs, there's probably a built-in co-op program, which is basically a built-in work term already, so you don't have to go and look for your own internship. The school will help you do it. I don't it really depends on your program if they have a co-op, but mine does. It's optional. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do it or not because that means I have to take another extra year in university, so it makes it 5 years. And also with co-op, I think you get 4 semesters worth of work terms, so it's a lot of experience and you get to earn a lot of money too. So we're almost at the end of the video. I just have a few more things I want to talk about, and I want to talk about the career opportunities with a business degree. I did some research. I'm not a professional career consultant or anything. With a business degree, you could honestly go into any industry that you want because every industry has a business. And what I mean by industry is fashion industry, film industry, medical industry. For me, I would love to go into a fashion retailer and work for them, or for a film company, a film studio. That would be so fun. Hopefully one day, we'll see. Like I said, I did some research. I've got some listed jobs here, and some of the general ones that you could go into would be consulting, a project manager, business advisor, and then all the other jobs, it depends on what major or what aspect of business you're majoring in. So for example, if you're in marketing like me, you could be a brand manager, you could do public relations, digital marketer. Really just do your research, find what you're interested in, look into each major of the business program, see what jobs you'll get with that specific major. Having said that, I want to share you guys my career plans with my business degree. So I just want to explain some things first. When I first got into my business program, I didn't know what exactly I wanted, the specific business job that I wanted. I was actually first in the business technology management program at Ryerson. And that program is already very specific because you already got your major from your first year. So from your first year, you're already doing courses specific to that major, and that was IT. The reason I picked that was because I like technology, so I thought, maybe I'll go into the business technology program. But throughout my first semester semester actually, I realized the tech courses, I wasn't enjoying it, and realizing slowly that it wasn't for me. I didn't like the technical aspect of technology and I wanted the more creative side of it. So in November, my first semester, I actually went to a social media marketing boot camp, which was just like a workshop I did after school. That boot camp really just opened a door for me. I found out the whole world of digital marketing. It's a growing industry now, and that's what I really want to get into. So after that boot camp, that's when I told my parents like I'm switching programs. So the weeks following that, I actually fixed all my applications and it was successful. I was able to switch. So this September, I will be going into that program and starting my business major in marketing. So I can't wait. So yeah, that's what I really want to get into, you know, social media marketing as a career. So that's all I have to say in this video. I really hoped this helped, especially if you're an incoming freshman or you're probably in high school and contemplating whether you want to do a business degree or not. If you have any more questions, please feel free to comment down below or DM me on Instagram at Kristine. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!